So Rick, last night beaten by Pilkington 2-1 last night. Just from your point of view, where what went wrong last night that didn't seem to gel in the same way.
No, it was funny because we're saying, look, this is a side that are in a bad time. Let's take it to them, and there's a chance to win here. And I was impressing upon the need to win rather than the draws we've been getting, and we seemed a bit flat. We knew that they weren't particularly fast at the back, so we said, well, let's get the ball forward. And I think we went a bit too literal with that one. And but we had a great chance, and should have scored, and that would have made it a lot easier. But the whole atmosphere seemed flat in the ground as well to me. Even the fans were quiet. And then, second half, we didn't fly out of the blocks by any means, but at least we didn't concede in the first 5 minutes. And then they score towards it. It must have been 70 minutes or something, was it?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
And then we hit back, and I'm saying, come on, let's get a winner here. And we're putting some pressure on. And then, lo and behold, we get that sucker punch. I think it's a mistake that's led to the goal. But we're going, I'm encouraging them to go for the win. So it's one of those. You have to live with those occasionally.
So it just seemed to be very weird, actually. It was very similar to the game we played at Pilkington under Jonesy, where we sort of got to the stage where we were getting to the edge of their box, and we dominated a lot of that game as well. We just seemed to struggle to sort of get it working around the box last night. Did you think it just wasn't clicking up front, or?
It could have been, but I think I've been impressed upon the need to attack, and we didn't put enough crosses in. We didn't get enough shots in. But then again, relying on Dino to get a lot of shots off that's we've been working on, and he gets a smack, and his foot was hurt. He did well to continue. He got smacked right on the top of his foot, and we just seemed reluctant to apply the pressure, more clinically. The two forward lads were struggling to get involved in the game. And it was just a flattish performance. Whether the midweek games got anything to do with it, training was disjointed this week. We didn't have any. And training's all about re-emphasising stuff. And we didn't really get a chance to sort of force home what I wanted to do. So, we just tip up for a game, and we're not at the races. But, look, I've been saying my blueprint is to attack and go for teams, but we want to keep clean sheets. It's a bit of a dichotomy, really, So, you could say, look, we've got it back to 1-1. Let's settle for a draw. But at the end of the day, constant drawing is no good for us. And although we've lost the game, I'm more disappointed we haven't won it. Because at the end of the day, all right, you get a point, but we need 3 points. It's interesting. I did some stats for a friend looking at Preston last year, and they had 20 draws and only 10 wins, 16 losses. And the last game of the season, they're going to get relegated. But that's only 50 points. So 20, if you win 23, lose 23, you're in the playoffs. So what I'm trying to do is get the points on the board by winning games, and we can't keep drawing. I'd rather go for it, win one, lose one, than drawing. So that's what I'm still going to push for. Obviously we need to be tighter defensively, but we're not getting battered by teams by any means. We've had 3-2-1 defeats, not 5-1, 6-1. So can't be too harsh on them.
So just in terms of that, looking forward into the season, that's sort of thing. But how far? What sort of area up the league do you think the potential is for this season?
Yeah, it's, again, you look at I'm getting the impression that anyone can beat anyone in this league on the day, and the results are showing that. The ones that you're seeing, that we're not involved in, you're seeing 4-3s going on and 2-1s to other teams, and teams surprising others. I'm not too concerned about who we're playing next. It's us getting it right, and we will click. Looking at last season, there's I think Litherland are adrift. They'll need a miracle. They'll have to sign some South Americans, I think, to get out of it. We've got 17 points. You need another 20 for last year. You'd stay up. 24, 5 games left. We need to win some. We need to win 6 or 7 games, and that will get you sort of. We won't get to 61 points like last year, but it'll get you out of that relegation zone. But I'm still, again, at the moment, we're still settling down. What have we had, 8 games? I do feel we've got to make it tougher for teams coming to play us. We seem all right on the road, but it's too much of a jolly up coming over here for them. It's a cup final. They get looked after. They put up, a big pitch. They can pass it about. They somehow get to almost dictate what's going on, and I'm not happy with it. We've got to start turning, get to home advantage. Home advantage, make it more for us.
I mean, there's a thing of that, of how much the ball comes into that. I know you've said previously about teams are playing up and they're turned up on the on the Astro, which there's a lot of them come out of academy teams and they're playing on it and they're used to it, playing for their thing. How much do you think that the ball does set into that about, trying to make it a bit more difficult, trying to make it a bit more hostile for teams? Because whenever we've played on the road on grass, we seem to have no problem doing that. It's just, we seem to struggle making things hostile at home.
Yeah, it is. I think it's the physicality side of it, and back to my little bit of a moan up about refs and the cynicism side of it. I mean, they were at it again yesterday, but not quite to the extent of some teams. But, in the first minute, we break, and one of their players goes down because he's fearing that we're going to score, and there was nothing wrong with him. And getting tight and getting close and making it difficult for people against these, they're academy players, but they're failed footballers in terms of the profession, but they're comfortable enough to play around on AstroTurf. You get them on a grass pitch, I know it'll be totally different. And they're all brought up on AstroTurf now. But our lads aren't brought up in academy situations. Our lads are more realistic and I think more honest. And when there's an incident coming together, it's always their lad that ends up on the floor. The referee misses the initial thing, sees him on the floor and gives a free kick against us, or a retaliatory thing. So, it's not suiting us at all playing on the ball, and I know that. I mean, if we were playing these pitches at home on grass, on tighter pitches, we'd get amongst them a lot better. So that's something, very difficult to deal with. And our lads, people are less inclined to go into tackles more full-blooded on AstroTurf because it stay on your feet, you don't want to bite the dust. But it is more physical game on grass. But it's almost becoming like basketball now, where you can't touch anyone. So it's a hard adjust, especially for me, coming from 1866 and all that, even though I played on AstroTurf back in the day for Holden for a couple of seasons, it was a different AstroTurf and a different mentality we used to fall about all over on now, deliberately diving headers and all sorts. And didn't care, mind you, probably didn't care because I was young. But, there seems to be none of that going on at all.
And just sort of looking at the team a little bit, we had a bit of another evening where like the defence has sort of changed about a bit, and obviously Clarkey came off. Just because going forward, we seem to be quite settled in midfield and forward. How difficult is it, do you reckon, with the defence at the minute? Just that constant sort of changing one or two players for every game?
You're talking to an attack-minded player here, and I've always said, anyone can defend. You put your foot through it and you edit and kick it, and you should be able to play channel balls. Certainly my coaching experience growing up with people like Joe Royal, he used to fit people in all over the place at the back, full-backs, you put anyone in at full-back, and they weren't what I would call proper specialist positions. So, people are doing jobs there, but the specialists are midfielders and up front and wingers. They should be. There's a lot of people play wide and they're not, but we have got good specialists up top. centre halves, we've got injuries. We've got Mikey Williams injured. We've got Alex Maitland injured. Now we've got Clarkey injured. All right, Callum came on. He did all right. Callum come on at centre half, and we've dropped Sam Baines into there. And then we have been struggling at right back, and I've been trying to find. Bestie's been injured. He's a good right back. So we've put Kyle in there, and he's done all right as well. I mean, we just lost it in the last 5 minutes with a few breaks down that left-hand side. But, again, defending should be, you're defending it, you're getting rid of it, you're clearing your lines. And that's what we didn't do enough of when the fullbacks got it yesterday. Although we said turn them, they didn't give it to the wingers early enough and often enough. And that's the main job of a fullback, is to give it to your wide men, or drop it into your centre forward feet. But yeah, it has been disruptive, which brings me on to another point. We are struggling to treat these lads. They're getting injured, and we've no base to do the physio or the rehab. So that's one thing we're trying to set up now at Castletown, where tomorrow night we'll go down there. I don't know if we have a physio available, but I'll be down there. We've taken a bench down, we put it in their dressing room, and we can start treating the lads who have taken knock. There'll be Dean, there'll be Clarkey, Alex, Mike. Bestie's all right now, and anybody else. Because I have noticed that people are getting injured and drifting off into the ether. So I don't know why that's not been set up. Maybe it was in the future, it isn't now. So we do need... there's two certainties in football, unfortunately, that you can always rely on, and that is injury and defeat. Always rely on those two. Anything else tends to be a bonus, in my cynical look. So we're going to get injuries and we're going to lose matches. So we've got to treat the injuries and try and not get them, and we've got to try and win matches. And that's as simple as it gets. So, that's what we're looking at, and get on that training field this week and try and remind the lads what we need to do.
Well, yeah, looking ahead to next week, it's Weston's been Chorlton, I believe, coming up next week, which is always a big one for our fans. We come up with them from the league below. We come up with the same year as West is, and we've had a good sort of friendly rivalry with them, so it'll be quite good to see that coming up. But finally, what are you looking to work on in training this week, with other than looking at the lads who've got a bit of a knock?
Well, yeah, again, it's back to that what we've created, that attacking stuff. We need to be putting crosses in, getting shots in, putting them under pressure. I know they're third in the table, but that shouldn't mean anything the way we're going to approach it again. So in training, we'll be emphasising those things. I will do a little bit more on defensive solidity, but again, it depends on bodies we've got available for the game. We'll have to work through the week and see who we've got available for selection.
Grant, cheers for your time, and we'll see you later in the week.
Yeah, okay, bud. Take care. Cheers.